Welcome to the Conscious Crew podcast. I'm DJ Marty, and today we have a very special guest with us. I would like to welcome Jordan here from Des Moines Music Coalition.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too. It's been a lot of opportunities coming since I met this guy.
Yeah, I stay busy. Yeah, we do. DMMC is kind of a constantly moving, and different parts kind of happening and popping up every day. But yeah.
So could you tell me a little bit about the different divisions you have going on with the coalition?
With the Des Moines Music Coalition, I'm the program coordinator. So one of my main roles is music education. We do a lot with after school classes. We have a hip hop class at Meredith we've had for years. That's been super fun to jump into. I'm starting our first rock band after school class in Merrill. That's going to be starting March 30th. Then we have our summer camps that's including hip hop and rock. We do showcases. We just started a Breaking the Band series with our partners. We partnered with XBK Live, a great venue in the Drake neighborhood,
and right?
Yeah, and Station One Records, and they're kind of a combined organization a little bit. I mean, close buildings, some of the same owners. Right. So they opened their doors and invited the Des Moines Music Coalition to come in, and again, we're kind of gearing the 1 month or one show per month concert series towards younger acts, middle school, high school, college age, probably the oldest age requirement. But yeah, we're kind of gearing a lot of stuff. What I do is kind of gauge towards a younger audience and introducing music to them in a different way.
Yeah, and I think that's really awesome because you're really giving an opportunity for the young folks to get out there and develop their skills.
Yeah.
When it's really important, they need something productive.
Like the community I grew up in, it was a very small farm town, so it was a loving community, supportive community, but there was really nobody, to even give guitar lessons. Luckily, my mom and dad, obviously I was into music growing up, and they thought it was important. Of course, I was taking piano lessons, from the church organist. And that whole world, and it was, helpful, and, I was involved in church music and school music, but they bought me a guitar, and they drove me an hour every other week to Clear Lake, Mason City, and I took guitar lessons from somebody at a music store. Yeah. And I really appreciate the fact that they, that's right. 2 hours, back and forth.
Round of applause to
thanks, Mom and Dad. I remember the day, I found my mom's old acoustic guitar in a closet and dug it out, Right. I was always probably trying to go through boxes and stuff, but I found the old guitar, and it was, the action was like that, so it was really hard to play. I think, one string was missing, and, we got it fixed up, and I really took to it as much as I could with not much direction, and they just saw that, and I remember being in the Mason City Mall. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but I think I was in 7th grade. Uh-huh. It was January 1st. No intention of buying a guitar that day. We're just going to go to the mall, go to a movie, and I was just kind of, staring at this guitar in a music store, a PV Predator, and parents must have talked, and what would they were waiting for the movie, and, hey, Jordan, what would you think if we got you that guitar today? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, it's kind of an expensive endeavor. Would you practice it? And I've never put the instrument down. I've gotten different guitars since then.
Sure.
But, it changed my life.
Do you still have the original guitar?
I wish I did. My dad has it.
Okay. Well,
but it's just full of stickers. It's painted. It was, for a while, hanging in the rafters in the garage.
Okay. All right.
I would love to get it back, though, and just hang it up.
There you go, yeah.
A lot of memories.
Awesome. So I did see that you do, in your personal life, you're involved in some bands, and you still play, like you said.
So constantly.
Tell us about that. What kind of experience you've had? And
I've been playing music since 7th grade, since my parents gave me a guitar. But in like 7th, 8th grade, after probably just a year of playing guitar, I grabbed some like-minded friends who were into Nirvana, Weezer, Green Day, Pumpkins, just anything that we could kind of get our hands on, and just started making music in the in the band room while other students went out for like a 20-minute, wouldn't call it a recess, but like a lunch break.
Right.
We were in 8th grade. You can't call it recess.
Right.
But the school allowed us to just go into the music room, turn up the guitars, and use the drums and get weird. And I started my first band, Keepers of the Carpet, in high school. Then we kind of turned into the Keepers of the Carpet, and that was like the first thing we did. And writing songs, and when I was about 18, we recorded an album with Bi-Fi Records, and it did pretty well on the college charts. And I listened to that music, and I'm glad it brought a lot of people joy. Yeah. I mean, again, the community really embraced. We were the only band ever to come out of Buffalo Center at that time, okay. Buffalo Center, Rake, Iowa. So that the community really embraced it, and it did well on college radio at that time. And I was kind of off to the races a little bit with more opportunities than I thought I would. But I was very young and naive. I didn't know anything about a music scene or how to put yourself out there. But luckily, there were people at Bi-Fi Records in Ames who took us under their wing and saw something. Maybe they just saw the naive potential, and that was kind of enduring. Yeah. But then I, continued to study music. I went to Central College for music. Continued to study music there. Kind of got into the jazz program, and started more projects. And after school, I started playing in a band called Nuclear Rodeo. I played bass in that band. I moved to Ames at that time, and it was just kind of a really creative environment. So Nuclear Rodeo turned into a band called Tires, and I'm still playing in Tires.
So you guys are going to be at the Vaudeville Muse coming up. Is that?
Yeah, we are. May 1st. I think it's for like a wedding reception or a wedding party, but I think it's still open to the public. I think I think it's just a party.
So if you want to officially crash a wedding,
that's the way to do it. I didn't really know how to put press out there for it. Like, can we publicize this, or is this just for Mia and Andy? Thanks for having us, Mia and Andy. But yeah, Tires will be playing the VOD in May 1st, and we've been working on some new tunes. Okay. And it kind of we've always been like a really heavy electro thing, no vocals unless it's been kind of live on the spot. We've had a guest or so, but it's always been quite instrumental. And I brought some new songs in. We're gonna I'm gonna be singing a little bit, but
clear the throat. Ask for something impromptu.
Well, that's why we use auto tune.
Okay.
No.
Right.
But yeah, I do Tires. I'm in a band called Volcano Boys. I do a lot of solo music and recording at home, and I'm always busy.
Where can they find that at?
Go to jordanmayland.com, and I have all the links there. Go to tiresband.com. It's all out there. We're on Spotify, Apple, and all that stuff.
And it all started with a young man getting a guitar, and he didn't even expect it one day at the store. So parents, go buy an instrument. It could be your child's passion.
It brought me a lot of joy, and with the Des Moines Music Coalition's new rock band after-school class, the idea has been floating around for a while that the DMMC, we have a lot of instruments for our summer camps, so we'd like to do something with the middle schools and have like a sign-out. A student can maybe bring an electric guitar home and an amplifier.
Oh, awesome.
And because, the way I see it is, it's an after-school class. That's probably not the place. We'll do our best, of course, to teach someone an instrument, but we can't sit down with each individual student and go, here's how to tune it, here's the D chord, here's the A chord. But if you're passionate about it and you're just interested, take it home. Right. We'll give you YouTube links on how to tune it. We'll give you great ideas on, how to play chords and song ideas, but the idea is to get the instrument into students' hands, bring it back in a couple of weeks, and experience the full band experience.
There you go. That's a tongue twister. But at Conscious Crew, we're also passionate about that mentorship portion when it comes to youth, and even as we're working into adulthood. Still ways to grow. So that's something we're passionate about as well. So that's why I thought it'd be a great fit to.
I had a really good friend, Nate Robinson, and he was one of the guys in 8th grade who grabbed a bass. It was a right-handed bass. He was left-handed. Mm-hmm. We didn't know what we're doing, but he was passionate about playing music with us. And his dad, who I thought was like the really cool dad, he was a professor at Waldorf College in Forest City. And I remember us practicing, and his dad coming downstairs and going, I am so jealous of you guys. And I'm going, why are you jealous of us? You're the cool dad. Is well, no, you get to, whenever you're frustrated or you feel something, you can just put it into your music, and that's just something I just don't have, and I'm so happy for you guys to be able to do that. You can put it out, you can put it into the drums, you can play a song on piano. So that hit me hard too when I was young, to be like, oh, adults, a lot of people say, I wish I would have played piano still. I wish I wouldn't have quit piano.
Yeah.
And I saw that when I was 13, and luckily I stayed with the piano, and music's brought me to some really cool places.
Awesome. So I know that you guys also have a few other festivals and events that you guys host and are part of. One of those is the GDP.
Yeah, man.
Right? I saw that one, and tell me how that's progressed over the years. Is it gaining traction? Because it seems like more people are becoming aware about that one.
Well, GDP was happening many, many years ago when I was not part of the coalition, and I was just a musician working at a pawn shop, or delivering pizzas and stuff like that, living the dream right after college. But I remember DMMC announced GDP, and I'd gone to it, and it was huge, and I was successful, and it was all local music, and I think they continued doing it year after year. Little Big Fest continued after that. Little Big Fest was more of a Americana, country, bluegrass, a little bit different than the indie rock and roll, hip hop thing of GDP. And then 8035 comes along, and that becomes, I think, the flagship part of the DMMC. And then I've noticed that as a musician, not as much emphasis on GDP. I believe it went away for a couple of years, and along with Little Big Fest. Mm-hmm. So when I was brought on as a new program coordinator, it was like a big deal for me to say I would love to bring back a local music festival again. Of course, we're doing 8035, and a lot of local bands get to play some of the free stages or the main stage every once in a while, but let's do something big for the music community again, and kind of combine Little Big Fest, bring some younger bands, and then bring a bunch of fresh faces that have never played the festival before. And so I went about it. I had, of course, booked a lot of shows, played a lot of shows, but I had not put together a festival before. And that was really fun. The bands all played nice. The venues were great. Vaudeville Muse, Java Joe's. We had.
So you guys have both buildings?
Yeah. Actually, it was the 4th Street Theater at Java Joe's.
Right.
So, I don't want to make any promises, but I'd love to do it there again. Right. And have 2 different stages, actually 2 different buildings, and we had a 3rd stage at the Vaudeville Muse, which is more of a solo artist situation. You call it an acoustic stage, but we still had W doing hip-hop. We had DJ Tanner doing his music, kind of experimental hip-hop stuff as well. Then, downstairs there was punk, metal, hip-hop. We had Americana, we had great indie rock at 4th Street Theater. And it was just there was no barriers for genres. It was everyone mingling, everyone supported each other. That's awesome. The rock people were hanging out at the hip-hop show, and it was just a nice experience that all the different musicians and the bands that I reached out to came and all supported each other, and that was just, in my opinion, just the tip of the iceberg as far as the talent in Iowa.
Right.
So I can't wait to do it again next year.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that it's still alive, and you guys are going to stick with it. It's always great when you can provide platform for artists, and we know that a ton of work goes into that, and putting that those types of events together, and just
it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I lost some sleep.
Yeah.
No, it was so worth it. It was so fun. Right. I can't wait. Like I said, I can't wait to do it again. But 8035 first, and then maybe GDP.
So let's go ahead and get into that 8035.
Let's talk about our headliners. No, I can't. I can't quite yet.
No, but just on a more surface. So you've got 8035. How long has that festival been going on?
I think this is the 13th year. 13th? I should know. Okay. I should know. So I think it's the 13th year. Okay. Yeah, but it's been an amazing festival for Des Moines, and as just someone who's been a part of the festival as a ticket buyer or a musician playing it, it's been quite the experience going behind the scenes and putting the festival together with an amazing crew. I mean, with the DMMC, truth be told, there's really only 2 to 3 staff, while there is a full board, and then many volunteers, people who jump in and lead different teams as far as putting together the Gen Z stage, the production, the green team as far as like all the waste and the garbage, and it's endless amount of people who come in and put the festival on with us while we have the task of organizing it for basically the entire year, and then everyone kind of steps in and super helps out.
Right. That's awesome.
It's a community. I mean, in a way, a grassroots process. You really need the community to jump in, and there's perks too. You volunteer, you get tickets. You volunteer. You get the inside details, but it's a cool experience working with all those people. And for the last year, I've been much more involved than I was last year. Let's say that much. Okay. It's been really cool to be, like I said, be behind the scenes more.
Right. Awesome. And usually that's down in the Gateway area of downtown Des Moines, right?
Yep, by the sculpture park there, right by the library, Grand, Locust there.
Beautiful area.
Yeah,
we're excited. It's a great space to have that festival. I know they have like the art festival there as well in that area, but yeah, that's I really enjoy going down there and checking that out.
I've always enjoyed it. I've always said it's my favorite time of the year, and it still is, but just differently now.
Yeah.
It's not. Let's just say it's not 2 days off anymore for me, where I just go down and have no cares.
Right.
You don't turn it off when you're behind the scenes. It's very busy.
What kind of attendance do you guys see there at the 8035? I know it's a huge...
I've heard the number 33,000 before.
33,000? Is it the biggest? I mean, you got the state fair, of course, but...
I don't know if it's the biggest. Hinterland is doing some great stuff. There, of course, the state fair.
It's got to be top 5.
Oh, I would say it's a top 5, probably.
Yeah.
Not the top one, but...
Yeah.
I'm not a numbers guy. I'm just a musician. Just a musician.
So what else do we know about? So in the past we've had, I saw Kesha was on there. She was one of the big headliners. Who else has headlined?
We've had
notables?
Kesha, Weezer, Wilco, the Flaming Lips, I think were the first year. The Roots, Wu-Tang. I remember seeing David Byrne and St. Vincent do like a shared set, and it just blew me away. I mean, I was a Talking Heads fan. I enjoyed St. Vincent, but what they did together with like this marching band or like this really odd arrangement of musicianship with horns, tubas, and drums, it just blew me away of how hip-hop and cool and current it sounded.
Right.
But that blew me away. Of Montreal, Girl Talk, MGNT. So, yeah, we've had all sorts of genres, and like to keep it that way. If it's a huge rock night or if it's a big pop star, I'm excited to always bring something different. Last year we had Elle King, and that was a different experience, I think, than we ever had. So, yeah, it's cool to keep it diverse, and you never know what you're going to get with 8035.
Right, yeah.
Fingers crossed, too.
Right, yeah. Definitely be looking for the lineup. When can they expect to hear more about 8035? Because the event this year is going to be on...
We're July 10th and 11th.
July 10th and 11th.
Tickets will be going on sale at some point very soon. I think the plan has always been to announce in spring. And I know there's been some other... I know Hinterland announced. There's other festivals announcing. And, and it makes you think, well, gosh, should we get on and announce it? I think we'll just stick with the plan. We're good. And we'll just probably announce in spring, probably early spring, maybe early April or something.
Okay.
We'll certainly let people know, and we'll ramp it up, and we'll let people know that it's coming.
Yeah, and if you want to be the first to know, I know that I've liked the 8035 Festival on Facebook.
Yeah,
so
you
can definitely
8035. You can also go to 80-35.com. And if you want to volunteer, if you want to get involved, there's options there. If you want to consider being a vendor, if it's going to be... food vendor or clothing or jewelry, there's applications for that, and 80-35.com, and I'm sure the announcement and all that information, as soon as it's announced, it'll all be published, and we'll let the people know. I know people have been asking about it, but I think we'll stick to our guns and stick with the plan as far as when we announce. But it's coming. It's coming.
Coming soon. Awesome. You've got your podcast that you do as well.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to check out a couple episodes last night, and I'm really impressed with what you've brought so far. And
thanks. Which ones did you listen to?
Well, I listened to there was the 3. There was 3 that were in a series.
Oh, okay.
Like
the GDP concert series stuff?
Yes.
Usually, that was a little different one because it was me talking about gross domestic product, kind of doing some promotion for that, letting people know about the musical acts coming. So I was playing tracks and stuff from bands, of course, and just chatting. But usually in the Bird Room, that's the name of the podcast, In the Bird Room with Jordan Mayland. The Bird Room is my home studio.
Sure.
Right. So I invite musicians and bands in. We, of course, chat. We get to know each other. And then my favorite part is, because they're in my recording studio, and I love recording, is we record music. And, of course, I have everything from pianos, drums, and guitars, basses, and, of course, people bring their own gear. But that's the fun thing for me, is to engineer. We do 2 to 3 songs. On a lot of it, many of the guests will allow me to collaborate, and after they leave, I put down my parts, and they'll hear it and go, oh, I've never heard a guitar on this song before. Yeah. So this is a really special version of each song. Or sometimes bands just come in and rip through 3 songs, and I mix it and I put it out with each episode. Yeah. Or someone might do an acoustic version of a song they've never done that way, and nice. It's always, it certainly helps me scratch that artistic and creative itch. Sure. I love recording, I love working with musicians, and I love getting creative with people, and it's certainly allowed me to continue doing that with amazing, talented guests. And I've had some bands come in, and some artists go, hey, what's with this auto-tune pedal, or this different gear? Right. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get weird, Let's do something completely different than what you've done before. And everyone's trusted me, and they'll send their thoughts every once in a while via email and say, I don't know. But everyone's, so for the most part, are totally cool with the collaboration. And it's also the podcast, and it's not a major label release as far as production, but it's cool. It's fun. Yeah. It's great to do.
Nice. Well, if you ever need a DJ, producer /
let's
artist
do it.
on there,
let's do it.
I'll come check you out and make something new. That'd be fun.
For sure.
Awesome. We'll definitely get that scheduled out.
Cool.
All right.
You're invited officially.
All right. Yes.
Into the Bird Room.
All right. Awesome. Let's see. What else do we have today? What else did you want
What
to
else are we doing these days? We're doing after school. We're doing our summer camps. We'll have our summer camp sign up. Will go live pretty soon. We'll put that on our website, DesMoinesMC.com. A lot of websites to memorize. DesMoinesMC.com.
We'll try to run these on the bottom, so maybe
nice.
It'll be easier for you to see.
Right there. DesMoinesMC.com. Where our summer camps are basically for middle school, high school students. Again, it's like the after-school programs are a little bit more, I think, educational. We learn a little bit more history, recording techniques. It's a little bit more personal because it is right after school. It's in a classroom. While the summer camps are definitely more performance-based. Right. Kids show up. We have a concert at the end of the 2 weeks, and then we also perform at 8035. So summer camp is with the hip-hop and rock band. Sign-up will be coming out shortly. It's very affordable. I think $40 at the most, and it's 2 weeks. So it's a great experience to be able to work with professional musicians, music educators, people in the scene, who give up their time to mentor young students and put them into bands, and we rock, and it's fun. Then we're also doing with our partners, Parks and Recreation, who we also do the summer camps with. We're doing our youth music showcase again at Captain Roy's on May 9th. And again, I think we'll put out the sign-up link probably in the next couple of days. Last time we had 12 acts, and it was just super busy from noon to 5, noon to 6. Kids were rocking out. We had everything from like a young sister trio with cellos and bells and piano. And we had a band called Gorgod, and they played heavy metal music. It was their first show. We had a band, The Hornets, and they just played our backstage ball last week. So it's all over the place. So it's a place, again, another place for young acts to play a venue and just to have a good time, to show off, bring their friends out. Family can support. There's of course food, drinks for family. It's a great afternoon, and we're looking forward to the showcase May 9th. With Breaking the Band, we're doing that the first Wednesday of every month at XBK. It's affordable. I think we're going to be doing $5 admission or free with a student ID. So if you're a college student, if you got your high school ID, middle school, just bring it, get in for free. Papa Kino's is doing free pizza, so it's enticing. It gets me to a show. That's $5 and pizza and a rock and roll show.
Definitely.
So again, it's the first Wednesday of each month at XBK.
So I can imagine with the 8035, high demand, a ton of great opportunities there. A lot of artists might be wondering how they could get involved. Do you have any insight onto what's the best way to go about
I think,
doing that?
yeah, we have tons of people always asking, and it's great to reach out. I super appreciate it. But the best way to go about it is to email 8035bands at DesMoinesMC.com. And we're still taking artist submissions until this Friday, whatever the end of this Friday, March 13th, I think.
Yeah, today's, March
so,
13th.
We're still taking submissions. We have many submissions that we're going through, and a team listens, and we take a lot of things into consideration, of course. My prerogative, like what I did with Gross Domestic Product, is if I have the opportunity, I like to bring fresh faces to 8035 again. Locally, I'm talking about. Sure. And, of course, regionally, and, we're not going to have the same headliners, of course. But I'm a big fan of new bands getting a chance to play those stages. And then there's also very much something to say about bands who have played 8035 before, who continue to put albums out, who continue to do the footwork, and it's certainly not slamming the door in anyone's face. So the submission process is, like I said, going through all the bands, their music, what they've been working on. And I'm certainly not going to say, well, if you played 8035 before, you're not going to get to play. No, certainly not. But I would like to bring a lot of fresh faces to 8035 again. Right. But if you're interested, if you haven't submitted yet, or if you've reached out on Facebook or Instagram, please just email 8035bands at DesMoinesMC.com. And
I'm sure,
of course, we'll get you on that Google spreadsheet and give you a fair shot, just like everybody else.
Awesome, cool. It's good to know that get new people in.
And I can't submit my bands, so
you'll be busy probably.
Yeah, it was funny last year. We had a Youngblood cancel. His bus broke down. They were in Chicago, and it was 10:30, and main stage opens at noon, and we got to put something up there. And I had always joked, at the meetings, oh, why can't Volcano Boys play? Ha ha ha, Of course, we're not going to put, and I would feel terrible, and it is. I will not do that. Put any of my own music on stage unless the people demand it. Then I will. But everyone looked at me and they're like, "No, seriously, can Volcano Boys play the main stage at noon?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm working. Our drummer's running tickets. Our bass player's driving and picking up artists. So no, I'd feel really uncomfortable doing it. It was kind of like a spur of the moment, what are we going to do? And then I was like, I'm not sure if it was me, but we got the Maytags to come in and save the day.
Awesome.
They're so good.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the second time they have done that. When a major cancellation happens, they came and saved the day.
Nice.
So you never know if
having a great local band that can fill in
within an hour and a half probably too. Yeah. And of course, I would have loved to play the main stage at 8035. Not my prerogative, people.
Right.
But I would love to play other festivals, and I have played other festivals. But if anyone's out there listening, because my bands can't play 8035, or I choose not to even kind of have that discussion. Hinterland, looking at you, Mission Creek for next year. We'd love to play out, and I love playing concerts. And 8035 has always been such a special thing for local music, and of course, I look forward to that each year, either as a musician, having the opportunity to play, or watching peers play those stages. Right. So it is a special thing for local music as well. And I'm very excited to invite some new bands, and we'll see you July 10th and 11th for all of that.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll announce soon.
Looking forward to that, yeah. But also wanted to let folks know about our Conscious Kickback this Friday, March 13th at Vaudeville Muse. Again, we have a great group of artists that are going to be on that show. From DK, we've got OBS coming from Quad Cities, Apple Tree, a ton of great artists, Equinox, and the list goes on. Of course, Ananda will be there as well, and she'll be doing some poetry. So, guys, be sure to get your tickets in advance, save a few bucks by doing so, and hope to see everyone there
Groovy.
This Friday.
I love going to the Vaudeville. It's one of my favorite clubs, if not my favorite club. Just because it's just the 4th Street area. It's like a second family.
Sure.
And I know the sound people who have worked there. The bartenders, and it's changed throughout the years, of course, too. But again, Amadeo Rossi, one of the founding members of the DMMC. It's one of his clubs. So the support's there. And if I'm plugging myself at all, March 24th, I'll be at the Lift. I'm going to be doing kind of an improv synthesizer set. And I've never done it before. I'm usually, acoustic and piano. We're playing with a band, and it's usually quite practiced up. This is going to be something a little bit more abstract, and I'm excited to step out of my comfort zone a little bit and get weird with some synthesizers and loopers. And the Hella Goats will be playing, and they're one of my favorite bands. I think they're out of Chicago, and they'll be doing like kind of acoustic set there. So I'm jumping on the show. I think it'll be free. If anything, it'll be $5 or something. But come out. I'm going to get weird and bring some synths, and we'll see what happens that night. Like I said, stepping out of the comfort zone a little bit, but I'm all about taking artistic risks. And I've
That's
played.
Where growth comes, right?
Yeah,
the real creativity comes.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to happen, because I said it's going to be somewhat abstract, somewhat ad-libbed, with some riffs I've already been working on, but just something completely different that I've never done before.
Okay, well, awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's fun. I like the Lift. It's a great space too.
Yeah,
right,
they do jazz there. They do like smaller shows there. Like I said, 4th Street's always got something artistic. Java Joe's is right there. Java Joe's was the place when I was at Central College. That was the place for me. If I can play Java Joe's, I just saw great shows there, and it's a really a beautiful space. And now they've opened up the 4th Street Theater back there, so there's always something happening. And that's just one central point in Des Moines downtown. Drake is doing good stuff. We have Lefties. We've got XBK all over the place. Woolies in the East Village. So it's all over the place. There's always a place to find music. Ingersoll with the Greenwood, Star Bar, Yacht Club. All sorts of genres, all sorts of stuff going around in Des Moines. And the more that I can get involved, or the DMMC can get involved and give other artists a platform as well, it's all good. It's not a competition. It's all about supporting each other and supporting the Des Moines music scene and the Iowa music community.
That's huge. There is enough around, if you're willing to work for it, work for your fans,
man.
Release the content. Like you said, it's not a competition.
No,
there's enough to go around.
Yeah, there is. And, in this day and age, I think it's kind of tough to get people to come out to shows. And we're trying to, invoke that a little bit into a younger crowd, bring back the joy of the live music experience. I know everything is on the phone these days. Myself, I should get off the phone a lot more. It's so easy to I'm going to watch, this show, or, watch this performance, watch this video, or listen to it this way. Guys, get out there. Go to some shows. It is real. It's a real life experience, and that goes to everyone too. Please start coming out to shows. There's great talent happening. There's local music happening. There's regional bands coming through, and there's always something to do. So, and it's weather's getting nicer. The parties are happening. Ingersoll Live will happen. 8035 will happen. It's going to be beautiful weather soon, so just hope to continue seeing people come out to shows.
This is true. Yeah, guys, definitely get out and support your local artists and music venues.
Yeah, so. Tip your bartenders, too, and buy some merch. Spotify's cool, but, if you can, support the artists, putting in a record out, specifically a record, just to put 200 records out, production's $2,000. That doesn't cover, recording, practice, paying engineers, mastering. It costs a lot to do that, and it's somewhat of a passion project, of course. But you put it out there, and of course you put it on Spotify and Apple, where people can basically stream for free, which is cool. I love it. I do it as well. But if you can, buy the record, buy the CD, buy the digital album, support those artists. It goes a lot just to have $10 go into that Bandcamp fund or something like that, and
keeps the passion alive.
It makes it worth it. It's with me as a musician. It's never about making the money, but it is about supporting the art. It's about being able to make it feasible. If you spend all that money doing a nice album and then you're just in the whole $2,000, it's hard to justify doing it again. But we love doing it, and it's funny. You see I've seen the GIF or the meme. What's the difference again? The GIF moves, right? The meme is just a picture. But okay. Yeah, I'm old, older. But I've seen the picture of a car with a crappy car with a bunch of musical gear in it, and the musicians are the ones driving the $500 car with the $5,000 amount of gear in the back seat. So that's us. Right, so right. Support the artist. Get us gas money. Get them gas money.
All right.
That's my spiel.
All right, I agree with that, definitely. I agree with you here that, we're not in it, these are all passion projects, I'll say. Even the Conscious Crew is a passion project. Hasn't made us money, but, when we do the kickback, it is an opportunity for us to get some of the money back that
you can do bigger things with the platform then.
Right, and even this podcast, we're thankful for the sponsors that we do have. I should mention it. Des Moines Brothers Entrepreneur, great sponsor of ours. It's a local social group. We've also got Court Avenue Restaurant and Brewing, Fong's Pizza, Inner Space.
Court Avenue Brewing, that's where I spent my 21st birthday.
See? Great place for your 21st birthday.
Yeah.
I like that.
I played a show there, actually.
Really? That's
I
cool.
played a show on my 13th, my 21st birthday there. It was a nice night. And then we went out. And I won't tell you what happened after that.
That's off the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just thankful for all of our sponsors. Be sure to come to the Conscious Kickback again this Friday. Doors open at 9 o'clock. Show starts at 10. Our after party will be at the Copper Cup just across the street. And I look forward to everyone being there. Again, we want to thank you for watching first. And thank you so much for Jordan Mayland from Des Moines Music Coalition coming by to chat with us today.
Thanks for inviting me. We just met last week, and within the community conversations meeting through Des Moines Public Schools partnership, and I gave a quick little hey, we're doing after school stuff. If you got any students who want to get involved, it's free. Blah blah blah. You're like, let's talk really soon. You have a podcast? I have a podcast.
Right.
Let's do something. So thanks again for having me, man.
Yeah, no
I appreciate
problem.
it.
What's the band says? The world works in mysterious ways. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day.
Cheers.